On loss of natural habitat, threatening the many existence of great creatures. Sadly, even the borders of Harambe cannot protect our animals from the most dangerous threat of all, poaching. To the poachers, these beautiful animals represent only profit. Rhino and elephant are slaughtered in their holes in Ireland. Cheetahs and lions are killed with their coats. An antelope and gazelle are trapped in snares, legally so. It is my job to protect all the animals of this reserve. That is why I ask you, all of you, to please join us in our battle against poaching.
All grips are open. Filling all Come on and move slide all the way down. Make sure there's enough room for everyone in your party. Thank you. Alright everybody, here we go. Welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris. My name is Katie. I'll be your safari guide today. If you look above your heads, you'll see a safari spotting guide to help you identify some of the animals out there on the reserve. We might not be able to find every animal listed up there due to migration patterns, but usually have some pretty good luck. As a quick reminder for your safety, please remain seated at all times, even if I'm stopped for an animal. Please don't lean outside of the truck. We'll be passing some rough brush and some of those bushes have long thorns. While we wait for an all clear from our warden, now is a great time to get those cameras out and ready to go. We won't be able to stop for every animal out there, but I'll try to stop for as many as we can. So if you have an action setting on your camera, that's usually the best one to put it on. Also, if you have a strap on your camera, go ahead and put that strap on. It's a little bit bumpy out there, and if you drop your camera from the truck, you won't be able to stop to get it. Make sure you have a tight grip. We'll have no worries out here. Looks like we are all set to go. My first stop on this journey is the Little Ituri Forest. The animals in here rely on their camouflage to hide from their predators. Keep a lookout for those dark browns and light tans. We'll try to find some animals out here. Looks like we're gonna have some luck up ahead. There's no copy walking around up there on the right. Just went behind that bamboo. You'll see the stripes in their legs. Kind of looks like a zebra. Actually, the closest known relative to the giraffe. They have the same prehensile tongue, which means it kind of acts like a finger. They can grab their food with their tongue. Their stripes look like they're black. They're just a very dark brown, a little bit darker than the rest of their body. This helps them blend into their surroundings easier. And next to this tree, these light gray animals are greater kudu. They're the second tallest antelope, standing about 55 inches tall. Only male greater kudu have horns, so these are females. And they rely on their sense of hearing more than their other senses. That's why their ears are a little bit larger. You can see that okapi much better on this side. Let's take a look down by this watering hole. It's usually a good place to find some animals. They come down at least once a day to get a drink of water. Try a look. There's a rhino back there on the left. There's actually one just around the corner and laying down a little bit closer to us. These are black rhinos. They weigh about 3,000 pounds. There are less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the world. They get poached for their horns. Some people think there's a magical quality to their horns. It's actually made of the same thing that makes up your hair and fingernails. No reason to be poached at all. If you look back over to the right, we can see a couple of bongos way up on top of the hill. They're just behind those bushes. They are often known as the ghosts of the forest. You very rarely see them. Both male and female bongos have horns that helps them move through the underbrush a little bit faster. The male's horns are slightly thicker around. They're also about 32 to 36 inches long. Alright, well, let's head over to the Safi River. See if we can find some hippos. Might be a little bit tricky to find these hippos. They spend most of their day underwater to keep themselves cool. They can hold their breath for about 8 minutes at a time. Now keep a lookout for those eyes and ears above the water. It's going to be the easiest way to find them. Seeing some ripples on the right. I'm not seeing any hippos. They might be way underneath the water. Oh yeah, he's moving around. Let's take a look around the corner. Maybe we can find some hippos that are easier to see. Ah, there we go. There's one out of the water up ahead. Actually, one like right there. A large group of hippos is called a bloat. It's a bloat of hippos. They'll walk or run on the bottom of the water. Can't swim. They're just more often seen walking or running. You also see in the middle of the island that grayish-white bird. Those are pink-backed pelicans. During their mating season, they'll get a pinkish color to their feathers. Their wingspan is 7 to 9 feet.
There he is.
Couple more hippos up ahead. They are one of the most dangerous animals, but they are herbivores, and they don't eat meat. They're just extremely territorial. Let's take a look over this bridge, see if we can find some Nile crocodiles. Looks like we're in luck. Over on the left, you can see them down there. And they can grow to be about 16 to 20 feet long. They can also weigh about 500 pounds. Sometimes you can see them with their mouths open. This is actually to help cool them down. It's how they release the hot air from their body. Alright, well, let's head over to the savannah. You're going to see a little bit of a difference in the vegetation. It's going to be a lot more open, a lot less trees. Animals over here rely on their speed and agility to evade their predators, so it might be a little bit easier to find them. Now, speaking of vegetation, coming up on the right, you'll see a baobab tree. It's also known as an upside-down tree. It gets that name because the branches kind of look like roots coming out of the ground. To conserve water, it will spend about 9 months out of the year leafless. It stores all of the excess water inside of its trunk. And during a dry season, some of the animals, like the elephants, will stick their tusks into the base of the trunk to get the water out. That's why it goes by another name, it's a tree of life. There's a bunch of giraffes hanging out down here. Let's get a closer look. A large group of giraffes is called a tower. That's a tower of giraffes. A fully grown giraffe is 20 feet tall. When they're first born, they're 6 feet tall, making them the tallest animal. They only have 7 neck bones, which is a lot larger than normal neck bones. Looks like the road's gonna go right past them, so we should get a better look around the corner. Well, up ahead they're gonna be really close to us. These are springbok hanging out in the field. Springbok can jump about 6 feet in the air. Can also leap about 13 feet. It's really cool because they're only 3 feet tall. They're one of the fastest antelope. They do this thing called pronking when they're scared or excited. They'll run really fast across the savannah and start hopping. It's pretty awesome. African wild dogs back there on the left. They're laying down right in front of that bamboo in the back. They're also known as painted dogs because of the splotchy pattern on their coat. Each dog has a unique pattern to their spots. It's how they tell each other apart. They have a really great track record when it comes to hunting. They can pursue their prey until it drops from exhaustion. They don't really bark. They kind of make a squeaking noise. It's pretty interesting. Couple more giraffes hanging out back here. Actually, if you look behind the giraffes, you can see a couple of sable antelope. A male's coat will darken as they age. While there's a male leader, the female leader makes most of the decisions. These are Maasai giraffes. You can tell by looking at their spots. Kind of a jagged edge to their spots, not quite smooth. Their tongue is 18 inches long. Just like the okapi, it is a prehensile tongue. We're also passing these reddish-brown mounds. These are termite mounds, mostly made up of dirt, saliva, and dung. They'll bake in the sun. They can be as hard as concrete. Some of the bigger animals rub against them, wear them down enough so that the smaller animals can use them as a perch. Looking to tall grass and see if there are predators after them. Got some giraffe crossing up ahead, so we'll just hang out back here. Giraffes can run up to 30 miles an hour over a short distance. Over a longer distance, they can run up to 10 miles an hour. They only rest for 30 minutes a day. They usually rest standing up or kneeling down, very rarely go all the way down to the ground. It makes them too vulnerable to predators. Now, these giraffes are just a smidge too close for me to stop. We're gonna go nice and slow past. There's a herd of wildebeest up here on the right. Wildebeest lay down, facing out. That way they have a look in every direction, make sure there are no predators after them. They'll make a couple of migrations a year, sometimes forming groups of about 1.5 million to migrate. And they can start walking around about 15 minutes after they're born. Start running around about 30 minutes after they're born. Just past these bushes, we can see a couple of ant-collie cattle. Their horns look like they could be really heavy. They're not completely solid though. They have a honeycomb-like structure inside. They also have blood vessels flowing through, so it keeps them a little bit cooler during the day. Each one of their horns are 3 to 4 feet long. They're also called Watusi cattle. After the tribe that first domesticated them, it was the Watusi tribe. In some cultures, they're a sign of wealth. The more cows that you own, the wealthier you are. looks like there's an elephant up ahead, kind of behind these trees on the right. All the way back there. They have a prehensile nose, so they can grab their food with their nose. They're led by the oldest and usually largest female of the herd, called the matriarch. She knows where all the watering holes are, all the places to get food, and what places to avoid due to predators. And then she'll pass all of that knowledge on to the next matriarch. I think there's an opening in the trees up ahead. We might get another quick glimpse of them. Looks like we found some red clay pits over here. It's a great way to tell if there are any more elephants in the area. You can kind of see the tusk marks in the sides of the clay. Elephants come down here, scrape up the clay with their tusks, then they'll eat it to supplement the diet. There's an elephant back there on the left. Now, unfortunately, we can't stop for them back here. We'll try to find some around the corner. Tree. You can kind of see them flapping their ears back and forth. They have blood vessels on the back of their ears. When they start flapping them, they get the air circulating and cool them down a little bit faster. They have really sensitive skins. During the day, they'll throw dirt and mud on top of their backs to help keep them from getting sunburned. There's a pretty cool story about elephants. They're getting into farmers' crops and they're trampling their crops. Researchers found out the elephants will avoid bees. Now farmers will set up beehives around their farms. It's a safe way to keep the elephants away from their crops. To also keep them a safe distance from human population. Of course, those farmers can sell the honey for a little bit of extra money. It's a one clever one. Found some greater flamingos up ahead. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. It's a flamboyance of flamingos. Greater flamingos are the largest of their species. They're also the least pink. They get that pink coloration from the brine shrimp they eat. Rhinos back there on the left. These are white rhinos. They weigh about 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. I can see the mud pit in the middle of the clearing. Rhinos roll around in mud to keep themselves a little bit cooler during the day. Might be why they're hanging out over here. Both black and white rhinos are gray. The way you tell the difference is by looking at their mouth. White rhinos have a wider mouth. Black rhinos have more of a pointed mouth. They can run about 35 miles an hour. When they're in large groups, they're called a crash. It's a crash of rhinos. cheetahs back there on the left. They're laying down back there, so a little bit hard to see. Cheetahs are the fastest land animal. They can run about 60 to 70 miles an hour. They use their tail as sort of a rudder to change direction while they're running. They are more of a sprinter than a long distance though, so they can run really fast. They just can't keep up that speed for very long. If you've ever seen a picture of a cheetah close up, you'll see there's two black stripes on the side of their nose. This helps keep the sunlight out of their eyes. Now let's take a look around this copy, see if we can find some lions. Now, lions will rest for about 16 to 20 hours a day. They save all of their energy for when they go hunting. They could be resting right now, still keep a lookout for them, though. Might have some luck. Some burrows on the left. Could be warthog burrows, I'm not quite sure. Sometimes warthogs use the burrows of other animals instead of making their own. Actually, it looks like there's one back there on the left. Just to the left of these logs. Or not the logs, sorry, the rocks. Laying down in the bushes. They back into their burrows so that their tusks are facing out, so they keep predators from messing with them. There's a buntbuck that'll be coming up on the right. They were once poached nearly to extinction due to the purplish color to their coats. The only place you can find the broad reserves like this. But due to conservation efforts, their numbers are steadily growing. There's some ostrich eggs in the grass as well. They weigh about 3 pounds each. They're incredibly sturdy. You could stand on one, they wouldn't even crack. See what else you can find. Look like we're coming to the end of our journey here on the reserve, but you get to see a lot of cool animals out there today. I want to see one of their favorites. Which ones?
A cheetah.
So the cheetahs, they're my favorite too. One of the biggest problems facing these animals is habitat loss. It's a really easy way for you to help out. You can actually donate to the Disney Conservation Fund. Just go to any of the merchandise locations in Animal Kingdom. It could be as easy as rounding up to the next dollar. And 100% of the proceeds goes towards protecting animals like we've just seen out there in the wild. Like I said, we do see a lot of cool animals out there. If you'd like to see any more, you can head over to Gorilla Falls. A couple of animals aren't necessarily out on the reserve. They're gorillas, meerkats, naked mole rats. It's pretty cool, so if you get a chance, go check that out. It is definitely worth it. Here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye. It's too final a word. All we do say is Kwaherini, which means to go well. So Kwaherini, everyone. Come back and see us sometime. No two safaris are ever quite the same. great rest of your day, folks.